Tuesday's here, and so is the dust in the drywall.
And if you are stressed about your renovation, relax. It's time to ask the contractor.
And joining us now from H1 Construction are Lucas Stensland, general contractor and owner, and Jozef Pikula. He is our construction manager. Guys, we appreciate your time here with these Ask the Contractor segments. So many questions are coming back from our viewers. We want to start off with Dean from Wahiwa. He's asking, what does it mean when my drawings or plans submitted to DPP for my permit were kicked back? And how does that affect the time in getting my plans approved?
When they go into DPP, it goes through a certain process, right? So, and that process can be delayed, but when they're kicked back, whether it's kicked back for inconsistencies or more information that they need, it's the same process, right? So let's say it gets to station 4, they kick it back. That means the architect now, or the draftsman, or who's ever in charge of those drawings. Some people actually hire a third-party review company, which is sometimes a good idea, especially if you're hiring a draftsman of sorts, right? But then that party is now responsible for making those changes, whoever submitted the drawings themselves.
I get you. What's the difference between an architect and a draftsman?
An architect goes through a lot of schooling and knows the codes inside and out, right? So
it's part of their licensing.
It's part of their licensing.
Right.
They carry a lot of insurances. They do special inspections, more informed as far as materials go.
As opposed to a draftsperson who probably just has the ability to put the plan down on paper. Is that it?
And they still have to get it stamped by an architect.
They still have to get it stamped. The difference is a draftsman will normally pay an architect to stamp it. And it depends on their level of communication and business friendship, whether he just stamps it and walks away or thumbs through all the plans and checks out everything. There's nothing wrong with this direction either. It's just saying whoever stamped it is taking responsibility for those drawings.
So when that plan gets kicked back, does it get kicked back to the draftsman or does it get kicked back to the person whose stamp is on that paperwork?
Both. And it's up to them to determine who's responsible for it. But in that circumstance, 90% of the time, it's going to be the original person who drew the drawings.
I'm assuming that might add some time to the whole process.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, and that's part of the DPP process, like we talked about a few series ago, right? Bad drawings, inconsistent drawings, clogging up the system.
So once it does get kicked back, is the whole process paused? Do they have to restart again? How does that work?
Restart. Yep, you start all over again from the beginning, right?
Ouch.
Yeah, and the reason they do that is if it's made it through 2 or 3 stations at the DPP, and the draftsman or architect gets it back, they need to ensure that no changes were made through those 3 steps. So it doesn't go right back to step 4, it starts off at 1 again.
1 again. Okay, so here's a question for you folks. How do you communicate? So you found out that the drawings got kicked back. How do you communicate that to your clients in plain English? because again, I'm learning so much from Ask the Contractor, but you folks use a lot of terminology and jargon that most people don't normally speak.
Yeah.
So how do you folks sit down with that client and say, hey, you know what, this got kicked back because of da-da-da?
Well, a lot of the times they're kicked back for very simple reasons. If you're trying to meet egress, which means a firefighter can get in and a firefighter can get out from a stable landing inside the house and outside the house. Let's just say that's 3 inches too small. They're going to kick that back. In our case, they would kick it back to us. We would make that change and resubmit without
having to bother the client.
We don't need, Our job as a general contractor is essentially to buffer the client from it being a stressful process. They're already spending as much money as they probably saved or gotten from a bank in the biggest project that they've ever gone through. Because we typically don't do like high turnover. We don't want to work for somebody who's trying to get an ROI, like a return on investment, and sell it in 2 years. We want to work with families and into the fabric of Hawaii, a house that's going to be here and passed down to generation to generation, so my kids and Joseph's kids and our kids can drive by and go, hey, I heard about that on TV, or my dad built that. That's what we're here for.
Wow, that alleviates a lot of stress.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for handling that, because I'm almost having a meltdown.
Yeah.
And I'm not even building nothing right now. So
but
thank you guys.
Building for longevity.
Yes.
Building for
absolutely.
longevity. I love that. H1 Construction, they are the award-winning Hawaii home builder specializing in custom homes, luxury homes, and more. Thank you so much, Lucas and Jozef.
Thank you. Thank you.
Letting us ask the contractor. Thank you so much to Lucas and Joseph from H1 Construction. We love those guys.
Absolutely.
You know, if you've got questions, please send them now so we can get you those answers in next week's segments of Ask the Contractor. I almost said them like local style. Ask 'em.
Ask the contractor.
Ask 'em.
You know what I mean? Huh?